all is not well for Team Liquid. After reaching the finals in the spring split, they came into summer as one of the favorites to represent North America at the World Championships, but things started going wrong for them almost immediately. Drama surrounding Alfari led to his benching and later Jat's resignation as TL's head coach. Armeo had to sub in for Santorin again starting in week 4, and while Jenkins and Armeo have both performed reasonably well, TL are just one game above 500 after 15 games this split. A loud part of the TL fanbase has been calling for Alfari's reinstatement for more than a month, and it's easy to understand why. TL are in need of fixing, and Alfari was an MVP candidate. So how badly do TL need Alfari back, and how likely would he be to fix them? In the spring regular season, Team Liquid were one of the best teams in the league. They generated huge early gold advantages, averaging leads of more than 2,000 gold at 15 minutes, which meant they played out most of their games with healthy leads. That early game was the primary component of their success, and Alfari was the main driver of their gold leads. He led the entire LCS in gold difference at 10 minutes with plus 493. In the summer split, it's been a different story. TL's early game has been fine. They're third in early game rating at 56.6, behind 100 Thieves and Evil Geniuses, but their average gold lead at 15 is just 54, and Jenkins's gold difference at 10 minutes is plus 19. That puts him 5th among starting top laners, which is respectable, especially for a rookie, but it's a very noticeable drop-off from what TL were working with in spring. Without those early gold leads, TL are spending way more time playing in even game states or deficits. Look at the difference in their gold percent rating from spring to summer. As a reminder, GPR measures a team's average share of the total gold in the game centered around 50%. Team Liquid had the best GPR in the league in spring by a wide margin. Cloud9 were second at 0.89. From first in spring, TL have fallen off to 4th in summer, barely holding on to a positive GPR value. TL's mid and late game already weren't the best in spring according to their negative 10.2 mid-late rating, which compares their actual win rate against their expected win rate based on early game outcomes. Without these big early cushions to work with, TL's overall results have dropped off pretty noticeably. Their mid-late rating has actually slightly improved to negative 4.6, which suggests that they're playing out their mid and late games slightly better than they were in the spring regular season. But their actual win rate is down from 67% to 53%. If Team Liquid's performance stays around the same level for the next 4 weeks, their place in the standings is going to drop, and their playoff outlook is going to be shaky at best. 100 Thieves, TSM, and Cloud9 are already playing better than Liquid and sitting ahead of them in the standings, and Evil Geniuses are only one game behind TL and looking like a better team. If TL want to get to Worlds, they can't keep going on the same trajectory. The question is whether bringing Alfari back in will actually address their core issues enough to boost them back into the top 3. Obviously, Alfari is a stronger laner than Jenkins. We didn't need his gold difference stats to tell us that. Playing Alfari would boost TL's early game, no question. How might it help their mid and late game? Well, let's bear in mind that statistically TL's mid and late game have actually been slightly better than they were in the spring regular season. But Alfari might help a bit there too. His spring stats were better than what we've seen from Jenkins in kill participation, death share, and damage share. Statistically, he contributed more to teamfights in the late game. But it's unlikely that TL can reclaim a place in the top 3 by converting themselves into a late game team this late in the year. They should be trying to get back to what has actually worked for them this year, which is winning the top side of the map early on and leveraging their gold leads. The problem is that Alfari alone probably wouldn't boost TL's early game back to spring levels. In fact, Alfari's absence isn't even the main explanation for TL's early game struggles. Look at how things have changed in the last 2 weeks compared to the first round robin of the summer split while Santorin was playing. In TL's first 3 weeks, their solo lanes and jungler were getting golden experience leads, and tactical was going even in the bot lane. In the last 2 weeks with Armeo playing, Jenkins and Jensen have been falling way behind, and the team as a whole has been doing worse early. Santorin had been generating a 44% first blood rate for himself, tied for 4th among LCS junglers. Armeo's first blood rate has been 17%, which is 1 first blood in 6 games. All the early gains have been centered on laning from Tactical and Core JJ, and playing through Tactical has produced mixed results. Sometimes Tactical is carried with his lead, other times he has failed to deliver. So it's all well and good that TL have found some footing in playing through the bot lane, but without Santorin's pathing and ganking, Jenkins and Jensen have really struggled, and Tactical hasn't been reliable enough as the primary option. Of course, even before he had to sit out, Santorin's play early in summer was a drop-off from his play in spring too. In the spring regular season, he had a 50% first blood rate and plus 470 GXD10. Things started to fall apart in the spring playoffs, where Santorin posted a minus 317 GXC10, and Team Liquid's early game rating dropped to 51.7, which is worse than we've been seeing in the summer split, but against stronger competition, of course. Those disappointing numbers started to make sense when we learned that Santorin was dealing with migraines that led to Armeo subbing in for the last 2 series of the playoffs. The same health issues have been plaguing Santorin ever since, to the point that once again Armeo has had to sub in. So it isn't Alfari being out that has neutered Team Liquid's lane phase. The problem started when Santorin was playing through health issues, and they got even worse when Armeo had to sub in. We know that Alfari can create big 1v1 leads, but we also know that he's sometimes vulnerable to enemy jungle pressure. In fact, TL's loss in the spring finals involved a lot of Alfari deaths in the lane phase, and that came with Armeo jungling. Blabber and Fudge have already shown that they know how to attack an Alfari-Armeo pairing. Spica has smart pathing and is likely to do the same, especially with the template C9 provided. And with the way Closer and Someday are playing so far this split, they'd probably be all over TL's topside too. To handle the jungle top duos of NA's best teams, Alfari needs the well-planned conservative pathing of a jungler like Santorin to enable his 1v1 aggression. If Team Liquid can get Alfari back in the lineup, his individual skill is bound to help them out. That's no slight against Jenkins. Alfari is just an exceptional player. But Alfari alone isn't going to be enough to get TL back into the top 3 of the league and send them to Worlds. TL could really use Alfari back in the lineup, but even more than that, if they want to win, they need a healthy Santorin.
Howdy. It's me, Travis Gafford. I live in Southern California, but we don't have a Southern draw. I don't know where I'm going with this. Listen, please do me a favor and sign up for Alienware Arena. You can do so by clicking the link in the description of this video, and then clicking at the very top of that page, very, very top, there's going to be a logo that just says Alienware Arena. If you click that, you can sign up. And if you've already signed up, please go check it out, because they basically have different stuff going through there every week that you can get. You can earn. You don't have to have an Alienware computer. In fact, this is a really great way to help support me by supporting Alienware without going out and spending money on a computer, because maybe you're not in the situation right now where you need to do that. Hopefully in the future you will be, for everyone. That would be great for me and you and Alienware. But this is a cool way that you can sign up. We love it when people sign up for Alienware Arena. Thanks for watching.